Hello, poetry lovers. Today is April 22nd. It's day 1.335. This is the second video I'm doing today, real quick, about lessons learned. And I'm joined by a kitty cat here on my lap. We'll see how long she stays. She's temperamental, but then again, aren't we all? Again, I would need to preface this by saying I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician, I'm not medically trained, I've not stayed in a Holiday Inn Express. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I can only share with you lessons that I've learned as part of my journey here. And I would encourage you to research, to learn, to ask, to do, to talk to your provider, your medical provider, see what they suggest. Okay? But this is just, I'm sharing with you some things that I have learned. Okay, so keep that in mind. And as I always jokingly say, advice is like armpits, and I'm willing to bet you a cup of coffee that mine stink more than yours. Okay, so let's talk about dilation real quick. If you're not familiar with it, and I'm just gonna let me preface this by saying I hope we're all adults here, and I'm not going to show you anything that's beyond nothing sexual or whatever. So I'm going to use some common objects, okay? But let's assume this Sharpie marker is your dilator, okay? When I first started, you know, and the tech told me, lubricant was your friend, and it's very, very true. So when I first started, I would take the dilator and I would grease that sucker up. I mean, the only place you could hold it was like by the handle, and it was just dripping with. And I've learned you really don't have to do that. And yours may vary, but my post-op surgical site, the vagina, is very, very moist, okay, because it's healing, and the body is recycling some of the tissue inside. Anyway, I have a lot of moisture, so I don't need as much lube as someone else does. But I've also just learned to be a little more conservative. And when I put the lube, and here's the other tip, the lube containers all have flip top caps, right? Once you open it, and you pop the top off, and then you. Well, what I found was this is a really good tip, by the way. I was surprised. Okay, but the top of it, okay, where the stuff comes out, it dries, it gets yucky and whatnot. Well, you're wasting a hell of a lot of lube doing that. So instead, what I've learned to do is, I'm looking for a better one, is I'll actually take off the top. Okay, this has got a wide. This has a big neck, so it's not really a good one, but usually the neck. Ooh, let's see. Sorry, bear with. Usually, here's a good example. Okay, see how narrow that. Ooh, go this way. Go this way. Okay, see how narrow that is. Okay, that's the diameter. Even though you have a big plastic head on the bottle, where the actual lube comes out is teeny, teeny, tiny. Okay, it's very focused, like a toothpaste tube. And so by taking the big plastic top off, where that's mine has tops, and just where that little hole is, applying it just like that, okay, little streams or whatnot, I was wasting stuff. Okay, if you have money to burn, by all means, lobe it up and good luck. But what I've done lately is just put a little bit on the top, kind of like soft serve, and I work my way down a little bit. Okay, I don't overly grease now, because when you stick it in, the stuff here on the tip, it's going to spread in any way. So one lesson's learned, okay, for better or for worse. Your mileage may vary. And the other thing that I was doing, here's what I was doing wrong is, I have two hair clips here, okay, again, I was tempted to use a taco shell, okay, anything would work. I just needed a curved surface, okay. So when you're in your bed, okay, and I was taking the dilator and kind of going in, kind of like that, and then you get in the hole, but I was holding it up, and so the labia, and again, where I'm at 3 weeks out, my labia are still kind of puckered, look like the letter C. I think I've done this before too. They look like, you know, your labia should be like that, right? Okay, vagina. I mean, in a vagina, when it's healed, it's closed, right? And then, you know, kind of opens to put something in there. But after surgery, mine were like stuck open, okay, from the healing and all the swelling and everything. So that's kind of what I was doing, was going through the big hole. And I'm not proud of that, by the way. Just that's the way it was. And sticking the dilator kind of in that open area and kind of working it in, going, aha, look at me, okay. And what's happened is, oh no, that's really good. And this is probably the better way to do it, okay. So what's happened is, okay, let me get this. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Because this is curved, okay, because it's swollen, and I had it up like that. Well, I was looking at the dilator and going, oh, I'm at, 3 dots. I'm where I need to be. Ha 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 ha. Okay, well, I didn't say that, but when in reality, okay, because it's curved, let's look at it this way. Okay, so there we are at 3 dots. When in reality, as the swelling has gone down, okay, and you really need to be going like that because you're going up. Okay, you got to get over a muscle. That's the major objection. But see how up here, I'm like, oh, I'm at 3 dots. Ha ha ha. 4 dots. When in reality, no, 1 or 2 dots. And that's where I'm at today, is I'm at 2 dots. And I'm really trying to get to a 3rd dot. But that's part of, I didn't know that until I went back for my follow-up. And a physical therapist kind of told me, no, you got the angle wrong, Okay, hey, I learned, okay. The other thing that I learned was she gave me a really good exercise to do, which, you get it in as far as you can go, etc., etc. And then she said, okay, I want you to act like you're picking up a marble or a grape with your butt. Okay, clench those muscles as you exhale. Okay. And what that does is that loosens, it tightens the muscle that you're trying to get over, this little humpy thing, okay? And then she said, when you release it, inhale, and that's when you push a little gentle pressure, okay? So what it is you've forced the muscle to contract, yeah, and then you contract, you're holding pressure, whatnot, and then you release it and inhale, and that's, again, you get that space. They're so smart, physical therapists. That's where when it releases, you get some room, right? Let's do it this way, okay? Can't go anymore. Darn it. 2 dots. Frustrated. Okay. Compress. Grab that grape with your butt. Exhale. And then on the release and the inhale, look at that. See that pressure? Going a little bit more. And you do it. I mean, my hope, God, I hope I can get back to where I was. I was up to 4 dots incorrectly. So that's a little tidbit I thought was really kind of cool. The other thing she said was to relax your legs. Okay, and again, I was sitting in my bed with my legs on the bed, okay, like this. No, you want to angle them down a little bit, and you want to relieve the pressure that's on them. So put pillows. What I end up doing is I lean up against one of the walls back there, my head in the back, leg against the wall, and then I put pillows and blankets on the other one. And that way my legs don't have any, I'm not holding them up by my own power, because it's attached at your pelvis, right? And that muscle where my thumbs are, okay, if you're holding your legs up, it's tight. If your legs are loose, see where my thumbs? They're loose. And you can work that little fucker in there, okay? No pun intended. You can work the dilator in that hole, and like I said, it's so far it's been pretty. I've only done it for 2 days, but I've felt really good about the results of it. Okay. And so that's just some odds and ends from and by no means do I claim to be an expert. If I was a dilating expert, I probably would have I would have been a sixth daughter. So it is a work in progress, but I've had to reset my expectations a little bit because I was up to Big Blue, the biggest dilator that I have, and 3 inches going, oh, I've got an average vagina now. When in reality, no, wrong position, wrong angle. Okay, and that's okay. It's a learning process. Okay, so that's just some dilating tidbits, and I definitely will let you know if they bear fruit. I mean that's the goal. There's no men lined up at my door yet. I've got lots of kitty cats though. You can't see this one. She's just off. She's kind of shy. Um. Anyway, all right, my friends, that's it. And until next time, I wish you the best of luck in becoming the authentic version of yourself as you define it, okay? Good luck on your journey. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. All right. Until next time.